players, time to thin the herd. Going down is a necromancer who gets coffinated, a hockey player who gets iced, then some cactus freaks who get needled, and a stick-up guy gets shot down. A biker gets bucked, and a raccoon lover gets stumped. It's just nature's way of saying the next episode of 1,000 Ways to Die is upon us.
Warning. The stories portrayed in this show are based on real deaths and are extremely graphic. Names have been changed to protect the identities of the deceased. Do not attempt to try any of the actions depicted. You will die.
Death is everywhere. Most of us try to avoid it. Others can't get out of its way. Every day we fight a new war against germs, toxins, injury, illness, and catastrophe. There's a lot of ways to wind up dead. The fact that we survive it all is a miracle. Because every day we live, we face 1,000 ways to die. Chelsea was working late at the urgent care center. She often burned the midnight oil, sorting through files and prepping for the next day's patients. This was her favorite time, just her and the calm quiet of the empty clinic. But tonight, she wasn't alone.
Hello? Someone there? Hello?
Stop! Right there! Stop! Shut up!
A desperate drug addict with a gun. Tough situation. But Chelsea was an ex-army nurse. She'd been in the line of fire.
I need the drugs. Where's the drugs?
They're right here.
Open it. Get the key.
If it's a drug dependence that he's developed, physiological dependence on the medication, he actually needs to have regular infusions of the substance to maintain that equilibrium.
What do you need?
I need something to calm down.
You can even say a person is incapable of rational decision-making process because they're entirely focused on where is their next hit going to come from.
The ballsy nurse was more than happy to load him up on painkillers, hoping to knock him out.
Let's sit you down, okay?
Once the first rush of narcotics hit him, he turned his attention to Nurse Chelsea.
Put it down.
You got what I want.
Just relax. I know what you want. Just put the gun down.
The dope was making him dopey.
Just back up.
Chelsea just needed a little more time before he dropped.
This what you want? Yeah?
All the way.
Okay.
Chelsea's combat training kicked in. She knew the MRI machine had an electromagnetic force 5 times greater than a junkyard scrap metal magnet.
My legs?
It could pop the buttons right off the junkie's jeans. She hit the on button. But then something happened that surprised even Chelsea. Turns out our drug addict was damaged goods. He had a steel plate in his head. Too doped up to resist, the MRI drew him into its magnetic field and he went from bad guy to dead guy.
Head slamming onto the machine could basically be like someone hitting your head with a bat. It may cause both injury from the brain hitting that metal MRI and then injury from the brain sloshing back and hitting the other side of the skull, causing brain swelling or bleeding and leading to brain death eventually.
This could have had a much different ending, but Chelsea was cool as a cucumber with a hot jalapeno body.
Right here.
Some people collect coins, others stamps. These two loners have taken their empty lives and filled them up with cactus.
Oh,
Today they're celebrating.
yes, beautiful.
They just returned from a trip to the Arizona desert where they had stolen a valuable 6-foot saguaro. To honor the occasion, they hammered down a mind-altering brew of mezcal, a distilled spirit, and peyote buttons, a powerful hallucinogen. Both come from the cactus family. With their minds scrambled, they were like two babes in the woods. Very spiny woods.
These things are sharp.
In Arizona, saguaro are a protected plant species. In their tripped-out minds, they experience a rare phenomenon, a shared hallucination. The spirit of the saguaro begins to speak out to them.
You have done wrong. You will pay for your sins.
This was too much for the freaks. They went from tripping out to flipping out.
You have disturbed the cactus universe.
No, it's not us. No,
You
no.
will die.
The guilt-ridden spinal tappers lit out, running as fast as they could from the voice in their heads. Blinded by fear, each turned a corner and came face to face with instant cactus karma. The first wound up run through by an agave plant.
These needles can pierce into the heart itself. The heart stops and circulation stops and the man dies from what we call cardiac tamponade.
The other met a similarly gruesome fate, pierced 100 times over by the razor-sharp needles of a small saguaro.
The needles actually pierced his eyeballs. If the needles are long enough, the needles could have gone through and hit his brain.
Is there a point to this story? Don't disturb the cactus universe. Coming up, a biker chick hits the road. And if the van's rockin', don't come knockin'. Unless you're dead. It was the end of another long day for Terry, a wardrobe assistant on a film set. Like anyone else, she needed to unwind. Unlike anyone else was the way she went about it. Terry liked to unwind by getting off. But for her to get off, first she had to get on her boyfriend Jesse's motorcycle. This highly sexual, good-looking woman could only achieve orgasm while straddling a speeding crotch rocket. It was like a 400-pound, 200-horsepower vibrator.
Females want to be teased, and they really enjoy the lead-up. And a lot of guys kind of forget that the lead-up is important, especially if you want to see your girl orgasm. Lead her up to it.
Jesse was cool. When they got home, he knew Terry would take care of his needs. So what if she popped her weasel along the way? Every shudder from the throbbing engine traveled through the bike's frame and into Terry's frame. She was starting to get gooey.
Get so lost in the moment, you might forget that you're actually on a motorcycle driving and that you need to hold on to your guy.
Terry threw her head back and surrendered. The Big O was upon her.
When the body reaches an orgasm, you can start jerking your hands or jerking your legs, for example, or starting to move spasmodically. And this loss of control could become critically dangerous, catastrophically, when you're precariously perched upon a motorcycle.
In the heat of the moment, Terry's seismic contractions knocked her right off her sex machine.
It truly is like the body is getting squashed against a hard object. Break bones, which can then rip into the vital organs, the delicate organs inside the body. You can have catastrophic bleeding all of a sudden. The heart shuts down and you die a quick but painful death.
Terry just wanted to unwind. she came undone. There was something not right about Mason. You could tell just by looking at him. He never even had a steady job until this one.
How you doing back there, baby?
Working for the county morgue, delivering dead bodies to funeral homes and cemeteries.
Baby, you were so good last night. It's a shame I gotta put you in the ground.
He loved his job. The problem was, he loved the bodies even more. Especially the women. Before he would drive them, he would drive them.
People who have sex with dead people are in the ultimate power position because there's no feedback whatsoever. They want someone who's going to be completely compliant and not reject them.
After stuffing the stiff with his stiffy, things got a little iffy. Late for the funeral, Mason tries a shortcut through a parking lot. Mason had forgotten to lock the wheels of the cart. When the van stopped, the coffin didn't.
The action of the coffin ramming into the head and forcing the head and neck forward, that kind of high velocity severs the brainstem. The actual impact itself is going to cause an immediate loss of consciousness.
Mason wound up becoming the thing he craved most, a cold and lifeless corpse. Go to hell, you freak. Up next, security camera footage supports new theory. Some people are stupid, and a hockey game turns into a bloodbath. Gomer was a low-life stick-up man, but the stick, along with his head, was up somewhere else. He didn't have any brains, but he did have a gun, and that made Gomer dangerous to himself. Today was a special day for Gomer. He just got off parole for his last failed stick-up attempt. It was time to give it another shot. His target, a jewelry store. He threw a ridiculous-looking fishnet stocking over his head, drew his gun, and promptly walked into the wrong store.
This is a stick-up!
Very wrong. Instead of a jewelry store, Gomer found himself holding a gun on a gun shop.
Most guys in gun stores, because they are afraid of being robbed, they're going to be armed, all legal. When this guy walked in, he walked into the worst possible situation he could. It's not surprising he got a hail of bullets from the other side of the room.
He took 7 shots in all, but it only took 1 to kill him.
Kill shot has to be the right bullet with the right velocity in the most appropriate location. Through the heart is probably the most devastating sudden kill shot because you have a sudden drop in cardiac output, you have no circulation, and literally within seconds, the person is gone.
Gomer's last stick-up was his last act on Earth. But his fame lives on. On the internet, the gun shop security cam video has 2 million hits and counting. into a fight and a hockey game broke out. It's an old joke with a lot of truth in it. Mario once had dreams of turning pro, but now he was just another 30-something weekend warrior playing City League hockey. But that didn't keep him from putting the hurt on as often as possible.
You gotta be mean. That's what it's all about. It's a game of toughness, it really is. People love that about hockey. 95% of the game is won through toughness and being rough and not being afraid at all.
Even in practice, Mario couldn't resist dropping the hammer on his own teammates. Maybe he was bitter about never making it. Maybe it was just part of his game. Or maybe, like most thought, Mario was just a mean and nasty son of a bitch. Whatever it was, everyone had grown tired of his cheap shots.
You're a hack, buddy!
So, when another flying elbow wound up in a teammate's face, the gloves came off.
You cannot back down. The scariest guy is not the biggest, toughest guy. The scariest guy is the guy who's willing to literally die during this fight.
Hockey fights are usually harmless, but this time, Mario wasn't so lucky. His teammate went down, his skate came up, and the sharp edge of the blade sliced right through Mario's carotid artery.
Hockey blades are very dangerous weapons if you think about it. If one of these hockey blades slices through his carotid artery, jugular vein, death is most likely instantaneous within minutes.
All of us like to see a little bit of blood during hockey. You know, it's almost like you're a gladiator back in Rome. You know, people love it.
Mario never made it to the pros. But in the end, he sure left his mark. You won't want to miss this. A soldier gets screwed up and chewed out. Coming up. Since 1986, a nuclear power plant meltdown has made Chernobyl, Russia, the #1 hotspot in the world, as in radiation.
The Chernobyl accident probably released about 400 times more radiation than what happened, say, in Hiroshima. 40 tons of nuclear material in the reactor is spewed out, and the immediate area becomes contaminated with radioisotopes.
The only people to be found there are soldiers, and the only soldiers stationed there are total screw-ups. Vladimir, Mikhail, and Sonia are the Russian version of F-Troop, as in effed up. Things were getting hotter in the hot zone. Sonia was liquored up and ready for action, but not with Mikhail.
Достаточно, Виту? Достаточно, понятно? Ну ладно. Добрый день. Чтобы я погулял, а? Погуляй, сходи, ё-моё.
It was survival of the fittest. If Mikhail couldn't have Sonia, he'd have to fit it into something else. So when he spied a lonely raccoon on the edge of the forest, it was game on.
A man who might consider bestiality would possibly already have those kinds of fantasies in a sober state of mind, but now on top of that, being intoxicated, he's more likely to have less impulse control and to act upon those urges and desires.
The drunken soldier ran off with his coontang. But things were about to get rocky for these two lovers.
Raccoons are very aggressive animals. They are territorial. They have 40 very sharp teeth that they're going to use to protect themselves, and they are commonly known to bite.
And bite it did. In one vicious chomp, the private's parts wound up in the mouth of the raccoon, and Mikhail's blood went Russian right out of his body.
It's not just the blood loss that kills you, but the other aspects of that trauma, arrhythmias, blood accumulating around the heart and squeezing the heart. So there are a number of different factors that result in death.
Private Mikhail learned the hard way. It's not nice to screw Mother Nature. She just might bite back.
It's original.